Welcome to Butt Make It Funny podcast, where we are unpacking life, love, and loss using our own sense of humor. I'm Zay, and we got your girl who you are in the
Yes,
building.
see, y'all
Yeah.
already know. Y'all already know. All right, y'all. Today we'll be talking all about why they gave Black people the shortest month of the year to celebrate. Let's get started. All right, Zay. Okay, I see you pouring up already. I see you
Yes, I
pouring
have
up
to mix my drink.
already.
I have to.
All
It's
right, Zay. Hold
customary when we
on.
start.
Let me
But
pour up
before
mine.
we
Y'all
start,
know.
what you
Oh,
got?
go ahead. Champagne. You already know.
I got my Jack. I like it dark. But before we start, we definitely got to get a shout out to all of our followers. We made it to 100 followers on Instagram, y'all. That's a big deal for us. That's a big word for
Woo!
Aramo. Balsamic vinegar.
Yo, oh my God. I'm struggling
that's
right
what
now. I'm not gonna hold
that,
you.
that's my
I'm
favorite
struggling
TikTok.
with this.
Yeah, what is going on? Like, okay, as
I
yes,
just want
yes,
to
he struggle. She still
but
can't get the shit.
shout out to all 100 of y'all though. I love y'all. If I see y'all in the street, say hey.
Thank
Hey.
you. 100, 100.
Let's
It
take
took
100
us
shots.
It took us 100 seconds. So,
Listen, Zay, we
whew,
can't all be perfect, okay? We can't all be perfect.
I
Cheers.
am
Cheers.
cheers, yes, to 100.
Cheers to 100. Mm.
I am not making the same mistake as last week, y'all. I'm definitely gonna mix my drink after I game because I was a little bit too drunk, words a little bit too slurred. It was not given what I supposed to have gave.
I, on the other hand, did not learn any lessons and will be drinking exactly the same way that I drank last time.
And that's how life
Okay.
goes.
And that's how it goes. All right, y'all. So, as you know, we love to get started with like a little drinking game just to like set the vibe. And today, obviously, the name of our title is Black History Month, but make it funny. So,
Mm.
today we're playing a game called Drink If Your Mama Ever, because we realized that as people of color, like more so often than not, like we've lived the same life.
Hmm.
Like we've gone through a lot of the same things. Even like while Zay was living in Chicago and I was living in the Bronx, somehow like our experiences were so similar. So we figured, let's talk about how they were similar. So we each got a scenario. And of course, if Zay's mom or my mom ever did it, we take a drink.
If
Fair
your
enough?
mom ever did it, you take a drink too. Cause remember, cousins, y'all are our cousins. Remember, cousins, we getting drunk together. All right.
Mhm.
I see. Yes, he taking a shot just to start, and that's what we do. Like that's.
All right, I'll start. Okay, Zay and everybody listening, I want y'all to take a drink if your mama ever told you to fix your face after beating your ass.
All the time. Like, or I'm gonna give you something to cry about. Like, you just whoop me. Like, that's not nothing to cry about.
I'm already crying. Like, I'm
Like,
already crying.
what is something to cry about? If this is not something to cry about, please give me something. Like, what is something to cry about? I'm so fucking mad.
Exactly.
You took one of mine. I'm so glad I came prepared. I came
Come
prepared.
on, give me one of yours.
I'm gonna take one of yours. Take a drink if your mom has a garbage bag in the kitchen with all the other garbage bags inside of it. Like you got like the Walmart bag, the food for less bag, like all the bags in one. Take a drink for that. Oh, your mama got that?
You already know.
But did y'all re-
First of all, hold on. Global warming will never be the fault of Black people. I'm telling you that right now. Nobody recycles more than Black people. Nobody recycles more than Black and brown people. Okay, I'm talking about that the little Tupperware where the butter comes. Leftovers go in there. The little cookie tin jar, you could put mass sewing materials in there too. Nothing will ever go to waste.
but did y'all turn the like little bitty Walmart bags, the little food for less bags into like garbage bags for the garbage can in the bathroom?
Absolutely.
That,
Absolutely.
that was bathroom garbage bags. Just a little knowledge for y'all. And as an adult, I'll still do that. I'll still do that shit.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
mama.
first of all these other people, these white people thinking that like they discovered something with reusable bags. Baby, we've been using reusable bags since like
A
mad long
plastic
ago.
bag can get multiple use. That's what they don't understand. Like it could be a,
Right.
a shower cap. It could be a fucking garbage bag.
An
It
umbrella.
could be a
It could
garbage
be an
bag.
umbrella.
The moral of the story is we recycle and we're doing our part. You should do yours. Is it my turn?
No, you just did
It's you? Oh,
one.
my bad, my bad, my bad. I'm sorry.
All right. Drink if your mama ever warned you about not asking for nothing whenever you was visiting somebody else's house. That meant you was never hungry, you was never thirsty, you ain't never had to use the bathroom, you was just gonna sit your ass on that couch and exist.
It was different for me because I was a little kid that used to talk too much. So my mom used to be, she used to give me a speech like, before we go in here, don't you tell my motherfucking business to nobody here. Because I was a nigga that used to go and tell all my mom business, like, yeah, she had company last night. Yeah. Like I used to get, oh my God, y'all. I used to get smacked. Y'all can tell as an adult. I used to get
Yo.
smacked in the mouth so many times for that shit.
Oh my God. You should have started a podcast back then. I would have
Yeah,
paid
for
good
real.
money I would have paid good money to hear what you was saying. All right, now is your turn for real.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been waiting. So take a, oh, I think you said it. See, the look always got me burping. Take a drink if your mother have reused the butter can to pour grease in, like old grease off the stove. Because we recycle
Because you
grease
can't pour it
too.
down the drains.
I just want to say, black mothers and mother colors make it do what it do. Like we gonna have, they gonna stretch ends to meet ends, like because we used to reuse our grease, like it was old chicken grease. Like 5 different batches of chicken could be in that. Like
Absolutely.
if it was fish
And
grease,
guess
we could do
what?
like food.
The
What?
food tasted good as fuck. It gave it a little character.
Yeah, it gave it
Okay.
more flavor. Like let me. It gave it,
Okay, I got one. I got one. Drink if your mama ever found something that you was looking for in the same exact spot that you had just finished looking for it. And then consequently beat your ass because the first thing she said was, if I go over there and I find what you was looking for,
I'm gonna beat your ass.
I'm gonna beat your ass. But
Let's
you
drink
know
to that
what?
whooping.
Mm, you know what? I have a theory. I
Hmm.
have a theory that my mama used to be the one who used to hide things. And then when she would go looking for it, she would have it in her pocket and put it in the place that I just looked at. Because there's no fucking way I was just looking there and it wasn't there
All because she wanted to give you a whooping that you deserved from last night.
from last night. But then she felt like
Hmm.
she, the time went by, she missed her
Yeah,
opportunity. She
too
was
much
like, I
time.
must create a new opportunity.
Okay, I get that. Like I get that because I got thousands of whoopings for that. So drink, drink if your mama got a drawer in the kitchen that got some of everything in it, like old mail, toothpicks, Q-tips, packets, what is it? Ketchup packets, them old little packs from
Duck
the Chinese
sauce,
place.
duck sauce.
Shit, we had that bitch.
Duck sauce, soy sauce, ketchup packets, extra napkins, straws. Let me tell you, I used to make fun of my mom a lot for doing that shit. But when there was no ketchup bottles or there was no sauces, guess where I was going to get my sauces?
The drawer.
The drawer. And guess what was in there? Everything I needed. Shoot. So
As an
shout out to
adult,
my mom for that.
yes, and as an adult, I have one of those drawers. Like, drink if you got one of them bitches in your house. How about that? Drink if you got one. Like, and I find everything in that bitch. I'll be like, oh, I need a Q-tip. Go in there and see a whole little bag of Q-tips in that bitch. I'm like, I knew it was gonna be in here. From
We love to
tape to
see it.
everything,
We
everything.
love to see it. Do you have
Hmm.
another one?
Yes, I just went though. Your
All right.
turn. Yep.
I'll
Let's
do one
go.
more. This is my last one.
All right.
Drink if your mama ever kept her pots and pans in the oven. Because there's nowhere else it's supposed to go.
My mom only let me see. My mom only kept one pan in there, and that was her cast iron pan. And it also like some of her pans also double as like whooping utensils. Like it's like used to be like She used to be like, choose your weapon. Like, it used to be either a pen, a fucking hanger, a stitcher cord, or like,
No, let me tell you something. One thing I learned in my journey of whoopings was that I knew when my mom was about to beat my ass, so it was my job to isolate her in an area of the house where she ain't have access to a lot of weapons. Okay, so I never got on my mama's nerves in the kitchen because whatever was next to her, that's what I was getting beat with, and so I didn't need her flinging wooden spoons, pots, pans. I didn't need none of that. So I had to learn how
mhm.
to like isolate my mom, in different areas. Like I could take a hanger, but not a
Okay.
whole ass like cast iron pan. Like,
That's a
you
good
know.
strategy. My strategy was run, like my mom, run, like make her tired, like make her tired. That way, when the hits come down, it ain't gonna be that hard. You know what I'm saying? So I used to hit it on my mama. I used to be ooh, ooh, ooh on the bed, on the beds, everything. Like you wasn't gonna
Damn.
catch me. And then when I get caught, she'd be like, she be tired as fuck.
Damn. What I wouldn't
More
give to go
story.
back and use that strategy. That was my sister. My middle sister was the one that ran, but she didn't run like you. Like she ran away, like out the door, like out the apartment. So she used the
Mm-mm.
same strategy, but I was always too scared. Like it was so weird. Like why was I standing there waiting for her to beat me? But it's okay. I ain't know any better. I turned out
Trauma,
kind of
generational
okay.
trauma. Right, right. You're fine. Look at this. You don't have any
I
trauma at all because of
I
that.
only cried myself to sleep like 3 days a month max. Like that's okay.
It's nothing but a blessing. Do I got another one? Take a shot if you ever got a whooping for saying what to your mama when she called you. For say instead of saying yes, your mama called you, but like what? And you're like, I know you didn't say what. I know you. Like I used to get an argument for a dad. Like I used to get a
It was like, what more do you want from me? You remember the
what
video of
more do you
Tyrese? What
want?
more?
What more do you want? This is me.
Yo.
This is me mixing my drink now because the game is over. I am not playing with Yessie this week. Last week, y'all, I was so drunk that after the podcast was over, I fell asleep on my couch. I fell asleep. I was
That
that
got nothing to
drunk.
do with me though. That was your fault. That was
It
your fault. You
was.
should have you should
It
have,
was.
known better.
I was too fucking excited about everything. Speaking about exciting, let's go to some of the tea from the week. I ain't the one to be messy though. Like y'all, like please y'all, I am not the one to be messy. But
They don't
according
call you
to
messy safe for nothing,
Messy
okay?
Zay, right? But with all seriousness, y'all, I am not the one to be messy. It is never me. All right, y'all. So according to our sources, and when we say our sources, we mean the shade room.
Sure
according
enough.
According to our sources, Tasha K was ordered to pay Cardi B 3.8 million in her defamation lawsuit loss. 3.8 million fucking dollars. That's a lot of money. So Cardi secured this lawsuit. See, I'm drunk. This lawsuit against Tasha K and her company K&B LLC, and they were found liable for a lot of things, liable for defamation, invasion of privacy through false light
Wasn't
portrayal.
that the name of her album though?
It was invasion. Ain't that ironic? And she just got money for damn. She got money from the album sales, and then she got money from the courts for it.
Mm,
She's
coincidence?
smart.
I think not. I know the Illuminati when I see it.
It's the Illuminati. Okay. So, and then she also got the money for intentionally infliction of emotional distress. So, just to give us a little bit of background, I know that's a lot. So, give us a background, y'all. Cardi B has been suing. They have been in court since 2019 because Tasha K created over 40 videos speaking on Cardi B. Some of the things she said was Cardi contracted herpes. I was about to say Haiti. I don't know why. Cardi
Mhm.
contracted herpes. She was cheating on Offset. She was she was doing sexual acts on herself, y'all, with beer bottles. This is what the girl was saying, even using hard drugs. So, how do you feel about this ruling? Do you think this was fair? And then, how you feel about Cardi B for going to the courts?
My first question is, does Tasha K even have 3 point whatever million dollars to pay?
That's a lot of
Because
fucking money.
I really wonder a lot about when I hear cases like that and like people are sued who don't have like a lot of bread. Like, what happens? Does that mean that anytime Tasha K gets money, there's gonna be like a percentage taken out of it until she finally like pays the full?
But according to her, like she did a video and I watched it. She was like, "This ain't hurting my bag. This ain't nothing. $3.8 million ain't. I know you're not making that much off YouTube." And because of her, we're gonna all when we talk about gossip, we're gonna always say allegedly because we don't got $3.8 million to give no fucking body,
I barely got
none at all.
$3. So allegedly.
A lawsuit like that might be the motherfucking the 13th reason why shit. I'll be on my Hannah Baker shit if I get a $3.8 million lawsuit.
First of all,
Uh,
not even the 13th. That's reasons 1 through 12. Okay. Like, no, thank you.
no, fuck that.
Um, to be honest, like I kind of got to a point where like I try not to have any opinions about celebrities no more because that shit is just way out of my tax bracket, you
Hmm.
know. But I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that feels like when you become a celebrity, there's like this unspoken agreement that like people gonna talk shit about you. People gonna talk shit about you. And one thing about Cardi is that she always feels the need to like respond to the shit that people say. And I feel like
Hmm.
she's the one who kind of even fueled that fire for people to do that because they recognize that they could get clout off
From
saying
her,
shit
from
to
what
her.
she say.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like if she would have just like let people say whatever they was gonna say and let it rock, it wouldn't have gotten to those extremities. Like, I'm glad she won her lawsuit. Like, good for her. I mean, she didn't really need 3 million, but like, it's
Yeah.
also like, sis, you kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. You know, like you getting mad because people talking shit about you, but you constantly responding every time they talk shit about you.
I honestly applaud her for her maturity though, and suing the girl instead of throwing a shoe at her ass. Like, because if y'all know, Cardi B will fight you. Like, she old school Cardi B will fight you. I'm kind of glad that she did the lawsuit. Like, it shows her maturity and her growth as an adult. Like, I'm not about to fight, and that's even with us. Like, when we grow up, like everything's not worth fighting for. But she fought her, in the courts and won. So evidently, Tasha K was lying about the situation, and that was a motherfucking check. Her mouth wrote that her ass couldn't cash because ain't nobody got no time for that.
Do you remember that when they was in court, apparently the judge said allegedly that Cardi had to take like a STI test. She had to go get tested to prove that she didn't really have herpes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
And
little bit. That is.
And Tasha K been she done made up a lot of things about other people though. It wasn't just herpes with Carter. What she was saying
Mhm.
like Portia husband like bestiality and stuff like that. So what we gonna say to that is if it ain't about us, we gonna be but we ain't the ones to be messy. We ain't the one to be messy. But if it comes to our show, we definitely gonna say allegedly. Uh
Allegedly.
allegedly. So this is all alleged. Well, this is facts now that she sued, but we don't know anything about that. So next on our list, and I ain't the one to be messy, but Chris Brown and someone is suing him for rape. This is
I'm
crazy in
not
its
laughing because
own.
it's funny. I'm not smiling because it's funny.
It's just suing them for rape. Is that like prostitution at this point?
I don't.
Is it right? Does it turn to prostitution when you sue them for money? But anyway, all right. So Chris Brown, aka I Hit Bitches, is also being sued for 20 million by a woman who alleges that he raped her on a yacht parked outside Diddy's house. First off, a yacht parked outside Diddy's house sounds lit.
Was Diddy
The
there?
I don't know. They just said the yacht was parked out. According to our sources, the yacht was parked outside his house.
Did
The
Diddy see the
woman,
titty?
prob- she probably would have been suing for a little bit more if he did, though. The woman alleges
20
that
million.
Right. The woman alleges that Chris Brown, aka Knock a Bitch Out, invited her over from a friend's FaceTime. So it's no evidence that he called the girl. He invited her over from a friend's FaceTime, right? So she says after she came, she had a couple of drinks. After her second drink, she began to feel a sudden unexplained change in consciousness. So she was like popping in and out of conscious, right? And then she also says
I'm sorry. That was inappropriate.
she felt disoriented, physically unstable, and she began to fall in and out of sleep. That's when What that's what she claimed. Chris
Wait,
Breezy.
wait, wait. Isn't that what alcohol does?
Yeah, she's yeah. So blame it on the alcohol. So look, but then she also claimed Chris Breezy, aka Mr. Hit Your Girl, led her into the bedroom. So you know what happened after that? She said,
Mm.
she said she didn't file a police report due to embarrassment, but she did file a lawsuit for $20 million. How do you feel about that? Like, is this a case of cry wolf, or is she just trying to get a bag? And do you think her pussy is really worth $20 million?
First of all, this is coming from the law offices of Yesenia. as, a, as a licensed attorney, allegedly.
That's the magic word.
Yo, I am hot as fuck.
You
Oh my
drunk. You
god.
been drinking.
Okay. First of all, I'm pretty sure, like, wouldn't you need a police report anyway to pursue a lawsuit?
But she's saying she's not doing a she said in her lawsuit that the only reason why she don't have the police report is due to embarrassment. So it's like I'm
So wait,
not
she was
going.
embarrassed. She was embarrassed to tell people that he allegedly raped her, but now
Mm-hmm.
she's not embarrassed anymore to sue him for $20 million.
Mm-mm, she wasn't embarrassed about that lawsuit.
This real. I'm gonna let you speak first. I'm gonna let you speak
Okay,
first.
is this the case of chasing the bag? I kind of feel, I really can't speak on, sexual abuse victims because I don't want to undermine because maybe it did happen to her. Maybe she was sexually assaulted. But I think like in the route of do she want justice? I think she took it a little bit differently. Like, cause I would think like if I was sexually assaulted, that justice would be the criminal would be behind bars, the person who did it be behind bars, versus her justice, which is you raped me, now give me $20 million. Like what? How does that even equate to your? And she's suing for emotional damage. Emotional damage. That's what she's suing for. So it's like,
If I could sue every motherfucker that emotionally damaged me, I would be rich. No, I wouldn't,
you
because I used to
know,
just I used to just fuck with broke motherfuckers. So
on purpose, huh?
yeah. Anyways, um, one thing we do know, Chris Brown does beat bitches up. One thing we do know.
But we ain't never. But he said that this only coming around because his album about to drop. Like
Mm.
accusations, I'm about to say accusations like this come around only because his album about to drop. That's his claim.
Let me tell you, I feel like I'm again going back to the whole thing about like I'm just not forming opinions about celebrities because what the fuck do they do in
Hmm.
my life? But there is something to be said about like on one hand, celebrities have a lot of fucking power. Like celebrities have a lot of fucking power. And one thing that I've always heard from is that most celebrities allegedly have women sign NDAs for
Yep.
for certain type of shit. And so on the other hand, then I'm also thinking like I'm very big on like just believing when women come forward and say something. Like my first instinct should just I'm just gonna straight believe them because there's so much shit that happens that like I'm just gonna go straight to believing them.
Hmm.
But also, oh wait, sorry. Important question. Was she white?
I do not have her race.
Oh, see, that's a big
I don't
part.
have her race.
That's a big part. But anyways, um,
But I kind of don't think I kind of think she's like one of those little exotic creatures that's going around here with the
oh,
with the
she's
big butt
oh,
and
she
stuff.
she
Because
like
he like allegedly he only like light skinned girls. That's allegedly you
yes,
got.
the
And he only
racially
like
ambiguous ones.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah. So she
yes.
got to be one of those. And apparently
Okay.
her pussy is worth 20 million at this point.
Well, shit. If we are appraising our own pussy, I'll put mine to 50 million.
That's something I will not try,
How do you get
but
your pussy appraised?
according to her, you have to take a drink, and then feel woozy after the second drink, and then once it's over, like you gon' like once you wake up, then like you like, hey, let's appraise it. Like I'm assuming
Okay.
for $20 million when you talk to your lawyers and stuff.
Long story short, this
Hmm.
ain't none of my motherfucking business.
Okay, so we ain't the one to be messy on that topic. We ain't the ones to be messy. But to close us out, it's an incident that is going on in Connecticut, which is very close to us. Lauren Smith Fields, a Connecticut woman, a 23-year old black woman, was found dead in her apartment in mid-December. You guys, shortly after meeting a man from a dating app. Members of her family have accused the police department of failing to notify them of her death and mishandling the subsequent investigation, and they intend to sue over what their attorney described as racially insensitive handling her case. So her family is just basically saying, like, what's up? Like, they was rude about everything. I've even watched some interviews about everything. Cardi B even spoke about this, that brought the light to like social media about this, just to give us some background information. After a date with a man she had met on a dating app, she met him on Bumble. Do y'all use dating
He did
apps?
that shit.
He was okay. Listen to this. Lauren Smith Field was found after a man she met on Bumble called 911 on December the 12th to the report that he had woken up to her being unresponsive with a nosebleed. So, according to Connecticut medical examiners, Lauren died from acute intoxication due to the combined effects of, these are big words, fentanyl, promethazine, hydroxin, and alcohol. And her death is being ruled an accident, and detectives closed the case, but they reopened it once, people started to question all of this. My first thing is like, he did that shit because black women not about to do drugs that they don't
First
fucking
of
know how to
all, black people
pronounce.
don't do fentanyl. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that's a white people drug. Black people don't do fentanyl. Are you fucking no? No.
The only thing they do though is promethazine. That's the drug that's found in lean.
And lean.
That's lean, but like all those mixed together with alcohol. Now I think he gave her some type of cocktail to like to rape her. So he's a older white male. So he's 43 white male and she was 23 black female. So um what are your
You
thoughts on that?
remember? You remember like a few months ago when that white girl went missing and everybody had their panties in a bunch because like, oh my god, the white girl. Oh my god, I think her boyfriend killed her. We need to find her. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Mhm. Mhm. It's like the world when a white person is missing, we have to stop the world, you guys. When a white person is missing, we have to stop the world. But when a black person is missing, we have to keep going on with our day. Like, it's just another thing. It's just another case. It's just another
Bro,
sad,
you're
it's an accidental thing.
you're literally lucky. Like you're lucky if you even hear about a black person missing case. I know more about black people missing because of Instagram than because of the fucking news.
Yeah,
Okay. Every day I'm logging into Instagram and somebody's sharing a flyer for somebody else that's missing. That's usually the only reason why I know about that shit. Because the news don't give a fuck. The news media don't care.
they don't care
Because
at all.
they see black people as disposable.
And that goes all the way back to slavery. They see us as property. All right, so since we said that, I actually want to end on a happy note, but we definitely are sending our prayers to Lauren's family, and that they
Absolutely.
they they actually find justice for her murderer, because I really think she was murdered. Like I really think this wasn't accidental, and I think Connecticut needs to step up. So
Absolutely.
let's end on a happier note. So Biden agrees to nominate the first Black female Supreme Court justice. If you guys don't know how the Supreme Court looks, so the Supreme Court started in 1784, right? Since
Come
that,
through
the history.
history lesson.
I am a history teacher.
That's
Since
history teacher right there.
Yes, period. Since then, there's been 114 judges, right? Guess how many of those been white males? 107.
111. Oh, so close.
Almost 107 of them have been white male. Four have been women, and three of the white women, and three of them have been people of color. Two of them been African American males. Thurgood Marshall, whom we praise, which was the first African American male, and then Clarence Thomas, aka Uncle Ruckus, who really don't count. Like it's like Clarence Thomas, and then like a half a vote, like a half a vote for Clarence Thomas. So is this a win for us? Like, is this a win for our community though? Like to get this honor of having a black woman in the Supreme Court? Because I think she ain't going for none. Like black women about to be up there like, nah, bitch, that's stupid. That's dumb.
Mm, uh, not all skin folk is kinfolk, though.
That is true. It depends on the person that Biden choose to pick, and let's hopefully Biden don't be
You
Biden.
really
Biden.
think?
What the fuck is going on? You good? What was that?
Wait,
Okay.
this is coming from the political office of U.S. Representative Yesenia. I'm a representative now. I went from lawyer to
Allegedly.
representative,
Allegedly.
allegedly. Um, I don't fucking trust the government anymore. Like
Mhm.
I don't believe in the idea of government anymore. I used to subscribe to the idea of like the different parties until like I really realized like they all playing their own games. And so it's really hard for me to feel like he can appoint a black woman as a Supreme Court justice and it make any difference, excuse me, because if the majority of the Supreme Court justices are still right
White
wing,
males.
conservative, white male, it's not gonna fucking matter. It's not gonna fucking
Hmm.
matter because anything that this black woman, if she is progressive, if she is, stands up for herself and stuff like that, anything that she can bring up is just gonna simply get it's gonna get trumped because they're gonna vote. The majority is gonna vote a specific type of way. So it don't mean nothing. This is giving me performance politics, as everything else fucking gives me. Okay, like
That Biden
everything.
has been doing since he got elected. He's been doing performances.
But my man's went from like, oh, his whole campaign trail, we need to cancel student loans, we need to cancel student loans, to, oh, what? I ain't never said that.
Yeah, he
When I
was
said
like,
that,
oh,
I said
I'm,
that, me?
I'm gonna
Me?
get back to you. I'm
Like,
gonna get back to you.
nah. I think it's
Mm.
great for whoever that black woman is because, like, ultimately, like, I love it, but I don't
To
know.
think that the Supreme Court has been in effect for almost 200 years, and to realize that it's still the first black woman being nominated, no, it's kind of like a change need to happen inward with the U.S. Like we need to have something that ratifies how many the demographics of the fucking Supreme Court. Like, how can you have a melting pot of people in the United States, but then have 7 white people judge the law of the land for a melting pot of people? Like that does not make sense. Like, and it goes back to like the white people being the savior, being the rulers. They get to make all the decisions, but we have to sit with the consequences of their decision. But let's move on because it is Black History Month, and we are extremely excited about that. Even though we only have 28 days.
29 every 4 years. The
Yes,
fuck? Like,
that's what they get you. That extra day, yay! An extra day to be black. Woo woo. Shout out to all the prominent figures that we do know, like Rosa Parks. Cause schools my school, they didn't Rosa Park me to death. They didn't Martin Luther King me to death. It's like, okay, it's more people than those. Like those aren't the only motherfucking people in Black history. And let's not mention happy belated birthday to Martin Luther King, but let's not mention that Martin Luther King's a fuck nigga though. But we didn't want to go down that road because he used to cheat on Coretta, but y'all love him. Y'all be turning the other
wait.
cheek. And he was out here clapping cheeks. He used to cheat on Coretta all the time. He used to cheat on Coretta.
He had a dream, baby. He had a
Yeah,
dream.
he had multiple dreams.
Stop. They're gonna hate us. They're gonna hate us.
No, I'm gonna tell the truth. But I ain't the one to be messy though. I am not the one to be messy.
Before Rosa Parks, though, there was Claudette Colvin.
Mm-hmm.
Colvin, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I remember just learning about her like a couple years ago. Literally did the exact same thing that Rosa Parks did, except that because she was pregnant at a young age, I believe she was like 15 or 16 at the time,
Mm-hmm.
allegedly. I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble.
She was 15.
um,
It's between like it
okay.
was between the age of 14 to 16. She's in that range. Yeah.
Yeah, so because she was pregnant, they kind of like were like, "Oh no, you wouldn't be the right person to be the face of this movement." So they had
Mm-hmm.
Rosa Parks do the same thing that Claudette had already done, and praise Rosa Parks and everything, and that
And
presents
that's
its own issues. But like,
Yeah.
I also understand why they did that. Like, I mean, at that time, the way things were, like,
They had to be
you,
strategic with it.
it
They had
had
to
to
be
be
strategic.
strategic.
And
Absolutely.
I think it was strategic with Rosa Parks, but also I think that it was. I think we failed to realize that it was planned. Like it wasn't like Rosa just one day. You know, they love telling the story. Like she got on the bus was like, "I'm not moving" when she got off work. No, it was planned. Like it was planned that
Hmm.
Rosa, you're gonna do this on this day. We're gonna have your bail money ready when you do it on this day, and that's what happened. Like so, it was definitely planned.
Hmm.
But all praise to her though, because now. We get to choose where we want to sit on the bus, and then our dumbass Generation Z, they automatically gravitate to the back of the motherfucking bus.
Because that's where it's fun, though. I'm sorry. Like, that's where it's fun. Should be lit back there. Okay, get the fuck out of here. I don't care. I
Do
don't
you think back?
care.
Do you think back then you would have been lit on the back of the bus like ah? I would
No,
have tried to
because,
back that bitch up.
but you know what? The moment that we did that, like, then all the white people want to come to the back. Because, like,
Yeah.
basically, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about white people. And now I know I'm getting lit. let me
Tell us, sister.
let,
Tell us.
let me tell you
Tell her, my
something about
sister.
white people. No, like basically, white people are unoriginal, uncreative. They don't know how to come up with nothing to save their life. Like that is
Mm-hmm.
everything that they know is borrowed and stolen. Excuse
Mm-hmm.
me. Everything they know is stolen, not even
Totally.
borrowed.
Yeah. They don't borrow
Everything
it.
they
Yeah.
know
They
is
don't get it back.
stolen. So if back then the back of the bus would have been lit, best believe they would have found a way to be like, okay, now the back of the bus belongs to us white people. Go to the front. So no, I don't care.
I agree with you. They do be stealing shit. Like they definitely do be stealing shit. But my question is, why does Black History Month always start at slavery?
Mm,
Why we got to start there?
mm.
Like it's ample amount of things that we could start at. Like and and if you listen, you guys, this is definitely going to be a history lesson. And it's Black history, but we're gonna
Cause
make
it's
it
a
funny.
history teacher.
And it's on period. Like why do we have to start as slavery? And I think when we teach our kids of color that Black History Month starts at slavery or Black History starts at slavery or Jim Crow, we do a disservice because it actually started in Africa where we were kings and queens. Mansa Musa is an African king that is he crippled the economy by himself. So he is the richest man in history. So he was
Mm.
richer than Bill Gates, all these other people, Zuckerberg, and all these Zuckerbergs, and all these
Zuckerberg.
yeah, Mayo man, all these Mayo man, like he was richer than those, like 10 times richer than them, and he crippled the economy by just going around and giving everybody money. That's how rich this man was, and I think we should start history there. At royalty, at kingdoms, at
But let me ask you something. Why would you start history at a place of prosperity if your goal is to keep a race as inferior?
hmm
Why
I
would you
mean
do
that's
that? Why would you do that? You got me weak. No, but like all
message,
jokes aside,
message.
all jokes aside, like, and I think this is like what we get into, like when we talk about racism being systemic, right? Like,
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of people think that, oh, just because my next door neighbor isn't racist, everything is okay. Bitch, I don't give a fuck what the next door neighbor thinks about black people. I think about what the systems think about black people because ultimately those are the effects that we feel, right? So the fact that
Exactly.
your children can go to school and schools are deciding to not teach black history at all because they don't want white kids to feel bad. Like, are you fucking dumb? Like, are you stupid?
It's
Are
the "Are
you
you dumb for me?" Okay,
like,
Remy
are you
Ma.
dumb? Like, no, dead ass. Because like that shit pisses me off. It's like, oh, we know that we did these things, but we don't want our kids to feel bad about how horrible of people we were. So we're not gonna teach them that. Thank you. But there's no concern to how black kids feel when they have to learn about all the atrocities that were done to their ancestors. Ain't no talking about feelings then.
No, it wasn't. It was definitely not. But that's how America works. That's how America works. Like when it's America worked to benefit the black the Mayo man. It works to benefit. And when I say male men, I mean the white people because they,
White Christian straight men.
yep.
That's like the golden standard.
And this is their, this is their place, and we just that's what they think. They think this is their place, and we just living in it.
Let me tell you, we could go on a whole tangent because I got,
We
yeah.
can, we can.
We
Like
could,
I will go there, like, but they,
oh.
they counsel people for being pro black now. So so next topic.
Okay, so why do you think? Okay.
I I hate her, y'all. I hate her.
So, like, you know how, like, 9/11, right? When 9/11
Hmm.
happened, it was always like,
Hmm.
oh my God, never forget 9/11. Never forget it. And, like, when the Holocaust happened, never
Yeah.
forget the Holocaust. And again, I'm not being funny. Like, these are really serious events in history. But it was always like, never forget about those things. Those things lasted way shorter amount of time than slavery did. So why is it always that we got to get over slavery because it was so long ago, but we could never forget 9/11 and the Holocaust?
That's a good question. One thing about me, I will never forget slavery because what they don't tell you is that slavery built the American economy. So the Wall Street that we see now was actually built on slavery. So our ancestors built the ground that we're walking on, and they also built the money that we're spending. So I'll never forget it. But it is. I think that is a coping mechanism for white privilege to say, can y'all get over it already, or can y'all forget it already? But we get to
Yeah.
talk about the Holocaust forever, and then we also get to talk about the Holocaust forever, and then we also get to talk about 9/11 forever. Like, also, it's sad that these things happen, but isn't it even sadder that we enslaved a generation of people for almost 400 years? Harsh conditions.
I think the book is called The New Jim Crow, and basically the essence of that book is just talking about how slavery has never been eradicated. It transforms and it adapts throughout time. So okay, yes, people want to talk about slavery being done. Okay, yeah, slavery in its old sense is done, but new slavery has emerged, right? In the prison system, there is still slavery, right?
Hmm.
Because I believe it's still in the Constitution, basically saying that slavery is abolished, except when it's like in terms
Prisoners,
of consequences for prisoners.
criminals.
When you talk about like when slavery was abolished and then we had Jim Crow, that was still a different version of slavery. So basically, long story short, we're on slavery volume 37. Like, I
That's a
don't
good
know.
thing.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
because we could be here all day, y'all. Because I really like. I think James Baldwin said a quote like to be woke in
Conscious.
America,
Yeah.
to be conscious in America is to be enraged every day.
All the time.
Like when I tell y'all, I go to work and just be enraged at some of the white people and their privilege and some of the things, their unconscious biases of how they treat us or how they even talk. And then as black people, they think, when you speak up about it, you are, instead of being passionate, we're always the angry one.
Aggressive.
We're always aggressive. They get to be passionate. And I hate when I work at an all
I will
boys
never
school.
forget that white bitch that called me aggressive.
Y'all, we worked at this place. We worked at this school that we shall not name. Me and Yessie, this how we met. It was so much unconscious biases going on. It was so much unconscious biases going on that I was the Malcolm X of the school. Like, I was not going. I used to always speak up. They had me on to keep me in line. They had me on a work contract, y'all, because I was used to speak up about that shit. Like, they used to treat me so wrong. Yes, like
Okay, and he was always late too, though.
they shouldn't. Why I gotta be at work at 7:30 if the kids don't gotta be there at 8:30? Like, what's that?
He was always late too, but he did have valid points, and his lateness should not have eclipsed the valid point he was making.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. And they knew I operated on color people time. I'll be late to work now, y'all. Let's just that's another Black History topic. Why are we always late to work, you guys? Like, I think they should give us, like, as reparations, I think they should give us an extra 10 minutes on coming to work. And I'm
Nah, you know something? I take being on time, like I take that real seriously. Cause like just like my mom's, yeah, my mom's like she always told me like if you're on time somewhere, you're late. Like you always gotta be early. But most of my friends are always late. So I just learned to adapt. So now the reservation is at 8. All right, bet. The reservation's at 7:30, everybody. See you there. And then they'll still arrive at 8:15, but at least it's 15 minutes late and not 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I get that. I get that. I'm one of the people that's always gonna be late. We already discussed my trauma on why I'm late, y'all. We already discussed my trauma on why I be
We
late
did.
to, like, why I'm always late to things. So, moving on. Do you think that we have run? Do you think that in schools we run out of Black people to learn about? Like, do you think we always learn about the same Black when we were in school? Do you think we learn about the same five Black people, the same
All right, wait.
five
Let's
accomplishments?
let's list them. Let's list them. Rosa Parks. We talked about
Okay.
her. Who else?
Talk about
Who
Rosa.
else?
MLK first.
MLK.
MLK
MLK.
first. Rosa Parks.
Yup.
Malcolm X.
Sometimes they try to sprinkle a little Malcolm X, but not too much.
Yeah, not too
But
much.
not too much. And let me say, sidebar, whenever they would talk about Malcolm X, they would talk about him as like the
Villain.
antagonist to
Yep.
Malcolm to Martin Luther King Jr.'s movement. Just want to put that out there. Who else did we
Mm-hmm.
learn about? Um,
Thurgood Marshall
Thurgood Marshall.
was one.
Um,
Maya Angelou. They love saying Maya
Maya
Angelou.
Angelou, yup. Maya,
Like
yeah,
she was the only poet in the Harlem Renaissance
yeah.
when it was thousands. It was hundreds
Langston
of
Hughes,
Langston
Langston
Hughes.
Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I will say, Maya Angelou and
Oprah.
Langston Hughes, you was learning about them not even in history class. You was learning more about them like in ELA, because
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes they would have you read like their work on Black History Month. But forget about it. You ain't reading a Maya Angelou poem in March or April. No, no, no. Only
Oprah.
February.
My people
Oh,
talked about Oprah.
Oprah.
They talk, yeah,
Oprah.
Oprah. It was all those people, and
Look at
they
Oprah. Look at Oprah, y'all. If Oprah can make it, y'all can make it.
because she's Black and you're Black. If Black people can make it, you can make it. We can look at them for representation, but also I feel like they limit our representation to Black people who only follow the rules. Black people who are only like yes men sometimes. Like, I love Dr. Martin Luther King. I'm so thankful for what he did, but I kind of feel like his nonviolent movement did change because the way the media portrayed it. But also, I think Malcolm X movement was needs to be talked about too, and the Black Panther Party that they criminalized. Let's just go there, y'all. Do y'all know that the Black Panther Party is on the FBI most wanted list as the terrorist, but the KKK is not on the FBI most wanted list. Let's just go there. And the KKK was established in the 1700s, and Black Panthers was established in the 1960s. This is America.
Right, right. Yeah, let me tell you. I think it all goes back to when we talk about racism being systemic. And I think this is like a nice segue to get into like a point that like I wanted to make because when
Hmm.
I didn't learn about a lot of these things until I got to college, which is really fucking unfortunate, which means that for 17 years of my life, I was fucking ignorant. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I hated being from the Bronx because I was like, all there is in the Bronx is violence and drugs and gangs and not realizing that that was like internalized self hatred.
Hmm.
I didn't really like see myself like as somebody who could, be an activist for issues, right? Because I was just like, oh, this is just how life is. I didn't see it as like, oh, things like this are wrong. It's just this is how life is. So when I got to college, I took a really great course. It was called Examining Diversity Through Film, and we basically just
Hmm.
watched movies and talk about shit. We talked about like racism, sexism, etc. And that was the first time that I was really introduced to this concept of like racism and classism as like intersectional. And like I
Yep.
really started to learn about like the reasons behind why things were the way they were. And so for me, like, it became a lot. Like, it can become very overwhelming when you think about Black history, like
Hmm.
everything that's had to have been endured, everything that, we've been through. And I say we very cautiously. Okay. I don't want people to think that, like, I'm saying we, like, I think that I was like in the same trenches as darker skinned Black people. Like, no, baby, because like I know my privilege too. But I learned that, like, sometimes when you focus too much on the macro things, on the big things, it seems like it's an impossible challenge to solve. And so,
Hmm.
what can you do on the micro level? Like, what can you do on the small level to make meaningful change? And so, for me, like now, I focus a lot more like on community. Like, what can I do immediately as my own person that will benefit another Black person? Okay, that means I'm going to buy from their store. Bet. Okay, that means that I am going to challenge my partner on his views. Bet. Oh, that means that I am going to stick up for my Black kids in the school that I work for. Bet. Like, these are small things that I can do that I know have immediate change. And so, like, I feel like sometimes why racism feels like a kind of challenge that just will never be gone, because I've talked to a lot of people who say that they're like, racism will never be solved. And it's like, I get it, but maybe we just need to kind of like hone in our focus, you know? I don't know if that makes
I,
sense.
It definitely makes sense, and I agree with the person whoever you spoke with that said racism would never be solved because America was founded on race. It was founded on classism. Like it was founded on those things. So if you found something on it, I don't know why in the middle of it you think it's gonna change. No, if it was founded on this, it's gonna always stand on what it was founded on. So
Yeah.
those are the pillars of America, race. I just hate when people generally white people always say, "I don't see color. I don't see color." Well, I think you racist. If we having a debate about race and you white and you say I don't see color, I'm gonna automatically think you racist because you gotta see color. Like you
Bitch,
got
I
to.
see your white ass.
Like
Like,
that mean and you said that made me think you ignorant. That mean you ignoring your privilege. Like you know you got privilege, but I'm gonna act like I don't have it, and then I'm also gonna ignore the fucking systematic racism that you have to endure because you know what? I don't see color. It can be a lot. And I just want to close out our conversation, this segment, by saying, be proud of who you are, you guys. Like Jesse said, it's the small things as a lot our main goal here in our group that we're speaking to is young adults between the ages of, let's say, 25 to 35 is our target audience, and we want you guys to use your little things, your little things you're doing every day to encourage the next Black person. If it's sharing your friend business online, do that. Like if it's
I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you.
People don't like to share their friend business. Like I'll be like, wow, like because it was even when we started our podcast and we like follow us and you like share it. People like, okay, I'm gonna share it, and then you look around, the
Oh,
motherfucker be like,
wait. I thought you was talking about like share your friends' personal business, like the shade room
no,
kind of thing.
no, that's not Black
That's
history
why I
at
was
all.
laughing. That's why.
That's
So
not
what do you say about the
no.
shade room?
The shade room is Black history, and you bet not speak bad on them. It is our it is our current BET News. You remember we used to have BET News? I don't know if y'all that old.
Yo,
BET used to have the news like
yes,
with the Black anchors and
yes.
everything. I think that's what the shade room is. I think the shade room,
Mhm.
sometimes they could be biased in their opinion, but I also think, as a culture, we need them. Like for the culture, they're needed. Like, but back to my point
No,
before,
no, no. You know who's needed?
who?
What's it called? What's the page called? Embracing Black Culture, or I think it's called Embracing Black Culture. That's the shade room that we need because,
Oh, Instagram.
yeah, they like,
Okay, follow them,
yep,
y'all. Embracing Black culture.
embracing Black culture. I don't know if y'all can see it, but embracing Black culture. I like the shit that they post because a lot of times I feel like the shade room gets lost in the sauce of like they be putting down the same people that they say that they trying to uplift, and it's kind of like,
It's kind of putting us against each other, though.
yeah, But
instead of unifying us.
anyways,
But you know,
right,
as people of color, we love arguing with each other. Like it'll be a confrontation between us before it'll be a confrontation for the white person that just wrong both of us at the same
right,
time. Like we will
right.
fight each other. We will argue with each other before that confrontation is even addressed. Like I said, you guys just do the small things. Do the small. I said three.
But I'm drunk. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's me. It's me. Am I the bad guy? Is it me? Like it's me. Do the small things, you guys. Like really do the small things, like sharing your like and I learned how important that is. And I just want to reiterate it's very important. Like a lot of my friends, I went to HBCU, as you guys know, a lot of my friends start businesses. Like 2 3 years ago, like I wouldn't share that stuff. Like I don't know why. Like I just wouldn't. Like I'm not sharing that on my timeline. Like, but now as I grow older and as I grow wiser, I definitely share my friends' projects, even if it's bad projects, even if it's good project. But no matter what, I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it.
Whoever Zay's friends are, listen to what he said. I think he's
One thing
saying your
about
shit
me,
sucks.
one thing about me, I'm gonna share my friend projects. Y'all shit not bad.
Even if they
I'm a
bad.
And even if they are bad, I'm gonna be in the front motherfucker row, like, hey, that's my friend. I'll be clapping. It's
I
gonna be
love
5 of us
it.
there. I'll be like, y'all see that? Yes.
And then behind closed doors, you're like, I think you can do this to make it better.
Yeah, give them tools, give them tools. But when it's open, and that's what I learned as being an adult, like to give people criticism behind closed doors. Because I used to openly say it, like I used to be like
Yeah,
like in front of everybody, and it's like that's not always the impact you want to have. Like your intentions may be good, but your impact of that situation may have been bad,
yeah,
especially as Black people. I think that's one thing we need to correction behind closed doors. Positive praise in the open, but correction, private corrections is something
yeah.
that I think we need to learn as a group of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with
Hmm.
everything that you said. And I think
What is that? I thought
oh, let me
Italy
say
for me.
hold on, let me PSA to all my light-skinned people. Make sure that you understand your privilege when you're engaging in conversations about Black history. Not everything, how do I say it? Not every platform is for you to speak. Sometimes your job as a lighter skinned person is to shut the fuck up, sit in the back, and let somebody else talk about their experiences. And I'm just like, again, like, just because my experience as a Black person is different than other people's experiences, it doesn't invalidate mine, but it is my
Mhm,
job as the one with
mhm.
privilege to make sure that I give space to others to share theirs. And I'm just like, ain't nothing funny about Black History Month. Black History Month is every motherfucking month, January through December.
And that's all period. And that's all Mary and every little fucking lamb she had.
Right. Like the fuck. And so
But
like
also,
oh, go ahead. He got something to
no,
say.
I did, but I forgot it, y'all. I kind of drunk. I forgot what you okay. You was talking about how shit. I forgot it. I promise you, I forgot it. Go back to what you.
So all this talk about Black History Month, like I just want to know how we plan to celebrate. I, for one, plan on slapping the shit out of every white person at my job because, in the name of reparations, I feel like that's right. What about you, Zay?
For Black History Month. That was good. That was good. That was a good thing to do. Like I would really applaud her. Like Yessie, picture you. Yessie's the first person to slap every white person at her job.
Wait, you remember that video of that guy? There's like a video of this guy. He just slaps everybody in the backyard. He's just like, bah,
Oh yeah,
bah,
yeah, yeah.
bah, bah.
You
Nah,
at
but
work. You at work.
some people gonna be like, "Damn, bitch, why you not slapping yourself? Because you white as fuck." So
I don't think you're white, but that's a colorist conversation that's coming up sooner than later with us. But to celebrate Black History Month, I plan on giving my number to every black guy that asks for it. In in the spirit to find a black companion. So if you're black, let me, hit me up if you know someone.
his number is 773.
Abort, 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 abort. Yeah, I'm just playing.
Oh my gosh.
Hope is life. Hope
Yo.
is life. Everybody get
I
my number.
can't. I can't. All jokes aside, though, like we are excited to celebrate Black History Month. We understand and acknowledge that Black History is every fucking month. It's not just one month of the freaking year that you need to support your friends, your families with whatever they have going on. And we just thank y'all so much for rocking with us with this episode. For this episode, make sure to tune in 2 weeks from now, which is February, what is it, 13th? Yes, February
Yes.
13th, the
Right
day
before
before
Valentine's
Valentine's Day.
Day.
Our next episode, February 13th. And of course, we always got to leave you with something to think about. So, Zay, you ready for our question?
Yes, what we thinking about today? Like, cause last question, everybody was not emailing me. Everybody was Instagram me about the answer. Like, they really think like Stevie Wonder sit up there, just sit up there. Like, why they don't sit him into a speaker? The fuck?
True
What's the
that. All
question?
right, so
What we
my
thinking
question
about?
is, and
Mm-hmm.
I want you to really think about this. If two mind readers read each other's minds,
Mm-hmm.
whose mind are they really reading? And with that, we bid you farewell. We see you 2 weeks from now. Let's get
Happy
it.
Black History. Mm. 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 Mm.